Picture this. You wake up on a Sunday morning, sunlight streaming gently through your windows, and as you walk to the kitchen for your first cup of coffee, you move with ease. There's no squeezing past that old chair, no stepping around boxes, no feeling overwhelmed by the weight of things that once served a purpose but now just exist. Your home feels like it can breathe again, and more importantly, so can you. If you're watching this video, chances are you've felt that subtle heaviness that comes from living with items that no longer serve your daily life. Maybe it's that exercise bike that's become a very expensive coat rack, or the formal dining room that hasn't hosted a meal in years but still demands your attention when you dust. Here's something beautiful I've learned from talking with countless seniors who've made gentle changes to their homes. Letting go doesn't mean losing your memories or your comfort. It means creating space for what truly matters in this season of your life. Today, we're going to explore 15 thoughtful ways to reclaim the peaceful, functional home you deserve. These aren't dramatic overhauls or overwhelming purges. Instead, think of them as gentle invitations to notice what's working in your space and what might be ready for a loving farewell. Each suggestion comes with the understanding that your home should support how you live now, not how you lived 20 years ago or how you think you should live. Your home should welcome you at the end of each day and greet you peacefully each morning. Before we begin, I want you to know that every item we'll discuss was once meaningful. There's no judgment here about what you've kept or why. We're simply exploring how small changes can create big improvements in your daily comfort and joy. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We're a community dedicated to making this beautiful stage of life as comfortable, peaceful, and joyful as possible. Every week, we share gentle, practical ideas for creating homes and routines that truly support you. If you find value in what we discussed today, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe and ring that notification bell. It helps us reach more people who could benefit from these conversations, and it means the world to our growing community. So pour yourself that cup of coffee, settle in comfortably, and let's discover how creating a little more space might just create a lot more peace in your everyday life. Number 1. The entertainment center that time forgot. Remember when your entertainment center was the heart of your living room? Those beautiful wooden units that held everything: the television, VCR, DVD player, stereo system, and all your movie collections? Times have changed, haven't they? Your television now hangs sleekly on the wall, streaming services have replaced those DVD towers, and your music comes from a device that fits in your pocket. Margaret, a lovely woman from our community, shared her story about the massive oak entertainment center that dominated her living room for over 15 years. I kept walking around it every day, she told me, dusting all those empty shelves, moving around its bulk to vacuum. One day, I realized I was living around this piece of furniture instead of with it. When Margaret finally decided to let it go, she replaced it with a simple floating shelf beneath her wall-mounted TV. The transformation was remarkable. Suddenly, her room felt twice as large. She could place a comfortable reading chair by the window where the bulky unit used to block the light. Ask yourself, does your entertainment center still serve your actual entertainment needs? If those shelves mainly hold dust instead of frequently used items, consider this your gentle nudge toward change. The beauty of removing oversized furniture isn't just about gaining physical space. It's about reducing the mental weight of maintaining things that no longer enhance your daily life. When you don't have to dust around, clean behind, or navigate around large, unused furniture, you free up energy for activities that bring you joy. Number 2. Coffee tables and the art of clear pathways. Your coffee table probably started its life in your home as a gathering place, somewhere to set down teacups during conversations, display a few magazines, maybe hold a beautiful centerpiece. But over time, many coffee tables transform into something entirely different. They become landing strips for mail, remote controls, reading glasses, and whatever else needs a temporary home. For some, they become obstacles rather than conveniences. Robert, a retired teacher, realized his large square coffee table had become more of a hazard than a help. Every evening when I got up to turn off the lights, I'd bump into those sharp corners, he shared. During the day, it was covered with so much stuff that we couldn't actually use it for coffee. Safety is particularly important as we age. Large, low coffee tables can be tripping hazards, especially in dim lighting or if you use a walker or cane. The space between your seating and your coffee table should allow for easy, safe movement. When Robert removed his oversized table, something wonderful happened. His grandchildren could sit comfortably on the floor during visits, there was clear space for him to do his physical therapy exercises, and the room felt more welcoming. Consider this gentle experiment. Try removing or relocating your coffee table for just 1 week. Notice how you move through the space, how it feels to have that central area clear. You might discover that a small side table next to your favorite chair serves your needs better than a large central table that commands the room's attention. Number 3. Exercise equipment that exercises only your guilt. We've all been there, that moment when we decided to bring fitness home. The treadmill that promised daily walks regardless of weather. The exercise bike that would let us pedal while watching our favorite shows. The multi-purpose machine that guaranteed a complete workout in just 20 minutes a day. These purchases often came from a place of hope and good intentions, but somewhere along the way, life shifted. Maybe your knees started aching, or your doctor recommended different types of movement, or you simply discovered that the gym environment motivated you more than exercising at home. Eleanor kept her stationary bike in her bedroom for 3 years after her last ride. Every morning I'd see it while getting dressed and I'd feel guilty, she confided. It wasn't helping my health anymore, it was just making me feel bad about myself. Here's something important to remember. Your fitness needs and abilities naturally evolve as you age. The exercise routine that worked for you at 50 might not be appropriate at 70. That's not failure, that's wisdom. When Eleanor finally donated her bike to a young neighbor, she created space for a comfortable chair where she could do her daily stretching routine and meditation. She found that gentle, consistent movement in a peaceful environment served her body better than equipment that made her feel guilty. If you have exercise equipment gathering dust, consider whether it still matches your current physical capabilities and interests. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your health is to create a calm, open space for the gentle movements that feel good to your body now. Number 4. Decorative seating that nobody uses. In many homes, there's that one chair. You know the one. It sits in the bedroom corner or by the bathroom vanity, originally intended to be useful and beautiful. Maybe you thought you'd sit there to put on shoes or read in the evening light. But somehow, that chair became a piece of furniture that's more functional as a surface than as seating. It holds tomorrow's outfit, freshly folded laundry, or towels waiting to be put away. These orphan chairs create visual clutter even when they're not being misused. They make rooms feel smaller and cleaning more complicated. You have to move items off the chair to clean it, then move items off other surfaces to clean around them. It becomes a never-ending shuffle. Patricia discovered this when she removed the velvet chair from her bedroom corner. "I thought I'd miss having it there," she said, "but instead I felt like I could breathe better in my own bedroom." The room looked cleaner even when it wasn't perfectly tidy. In bathrooms, decorative seating can be particularly problematic. The humidity can cause mold, the chair legs can be slippery when wet, and in small bathrooms, they create navigation challenges. Before you keep a chair just in case, ask yourself honestly, when did you last sit in it? If the answer is measured in months or years, that chair might be ready for a new home where it can fulfill its intended purpose. The goal isn't to eliminate all seating, but to keep furniture that actively supports your daily routines and comfort. Number 5. Entryway tables in tight spaces. Your entryway should welcome you home, not challenge you to navigate an obstacle course. A small table by the door can be genuinely helpful for keys, mail, and the occasional package. But in narrow hallways or tight entryways, that helpful table can become a daily frustration. Think about your routine when you come home. Do you have to turn sideways to get past furniture? Do you worry about catching your sleeve or bumping your hip against table corners? Are you constantly straightening items that get knocked askew? James experienced this daily dance with his entryway table. Every single day, I'd have to squeeze past it with my grocery bags, he remembered. I'd bump it, the lamp would wobble, and I'd spend the first few minutes of being home fixing what I'd disturbed instead of relaxing. When James removed the table, he didn't lose functionality, he gained it. He installed a simple wall hook for his keys and a small mail slot basket mounted at a comfortable height. Everything still had its place, but now his homecoming felt peaceful instead of stressful. Your entryway should be a transition space that helps you shift from the outside world to your private sanctuary. If furniture in this space creates tension rather than ease, consider whether its purpose could be served in a way that doesn't require you to contort your body or worry about collisions. The most beautiful entryway is one that allows you to enter your home with grace and comfort, feeling welcomed rather than challenged. Number 6. Grandchildren's corners that outlive their purpose. The corner dedicated to your grandchildren often starts with such love and hope. You create a special space with toys, books, and games, imagining little hands reaching for favorite items and young voices filling your home with laughter. These spaces are born from generosity and the desire to make your grandchildren feel at home in your house. But sometimes the children grow up faster than we expect, or visits become less frequent, or their interests shift entirely from the toys you've carefully kept. What remains is often a collection of items that no longer serve their purpose. Toy cars that no one races, picture books that no one reads, stuffed animals that no one cuddles. Meanwhile, this corner of your living space feels perpetually messy, no matter how often you tidy it. Helen faced this dilemma when her grandchildren outgrew the toy corner she'd maintained for years. I felt guilty even thinking about moving those toys, she admitted. It felt like I was giving up on having them visit. But here's what Helen discovered. Removing the permanent toy setup didn't end the visits or the joy. Instead, she created a flexible space that could quickly transform when grandchildren came over. She kept one small box of age-appropriate items in a closet, and when the children visited, they'd set up their play area together, making it an activity rather than an assumption. The result? Helen's living room felt calmer and cleaner daily, and when grandchildren did visit, the toy setup became a special ritual they shared together. Number 7. Plants that no longer bring life. Plants can transform a space, adding natural beauty, improving air quality, and bringing a sense of life and growth into your home. But not all plants earn their place indefinitely. Sometimes that beautiful potted palm grows too large for its corner, making it difficult to water properly or clean around. Sometimes the lighting in your home changes, and plants that once thrived begin to struggle. And sometimes artificial plants that once looked vibrant begin to fade, collect dust, or simply look tired. Martha kept a large artificial ficus tree in her living room corner for over a decade. It had been a gift, and she felt obligated to display it. But over the years, dust accumulated in its silk leaves, making it look dull despite regular cleaning. The tree was so tall that she couldn't clean the top leaves without a stepladder, which felt unsafe. I realized that instead of bringing beauty into my room, it was making everything look dusty and outdated, Martha reflected. When she finally removed it, the corner felt fresh and bright. She replaced it with a small, real plant that she could easily maintain and that brought genuine life to the space. If you love having greenery in your home, focus on plants that are healthy, appropriately sized, and within your ability to maintain. A few thriving plants will always look better than many struggling ones. Your plants should enhance your space and your daily experience, not create stress or safety concerns when you care for them. Number 8. Kitchen appliances that promised convenience. Our kitchens often tell the story of our good intentions. That bread maker that was going to fill your home with the aroma of fresh baking, the juicer that promised daily nutrition in a glass, the slow cooker that would make dinner preparation effortless. These appliances usually enter our homes during moments of inspiration, perhaps after watching a cooking show, reading a health article, or receiving a well-meaning gift. Initially, we use them with enthusiasm, proud of our new culinary adventures. But then life shifts, dietary needs change, energy levels fluctuate, cooking preferences evolve. What once seemed like the perfect kitchen solution begins gathering dust on high shelves or in difficult-to-reach cabinets. Dorothy kept her pasta maker for 15 years after she stopped eating wheat. I felt so wasteful even thinking about getting rid of it, she confessed. It was expensive and it still worked perfectly. But every time she opened that cabinet, she had to move the pasta maker to reach items she actually used. When Dorothy finally donated the appliance to a young couple who was excited to use it, something shifted in her kitchen. She had more storage space for items she used regularly, and opening that cabinet became easy instead of frustrating. Your kitchen should support the way you actually cook and eat now, not the way you thought you might cook someday. If an appliance hasn't been used in over a year, it's probably safe to assume it's not going to become part of your routine. Number 9. Furniture that dominates rather than serves. Sometimes we hold on to furniture simply because it's well-made, beautiful, or expensive, even when it no longer fits our current living situation. That enormous sectional sofa that seemed perfect when you entertained frequently. The king-size dining table that once hosted large family gatherings. The oversized recliner that takes up half the living room. These pieces aren't wrong or bad, they're just mismatched to your current needs and space. When furniture is too large for your room or your lifestyle, it can make you feel like a guest in your own home instead of the comfortable resident you should be. Consider Frank's story. He kept his massive leather recliner for years because it had been his father's chair. The chair was beautiful and comfortable, but it overwhelmed his small living room and blocked the natural light from his favorite window. Frank found himself sitting on the edge of his sofa instead of using the big chair because it felt too imposing in the space. When Frank replaced it with a smaller, more proportionate chair, he discovered he could place it in a better location where he actually wanted to sit. The room felt larger, brighter, and more inviting. The right furniture for this stage of your life is furniture that fits your space comfortably, supports your physical needs, and creates an environment where you feel at ease. Scale matters more than status when it comes to daily comfort. Number 10. Bedroom furniture that complicates rest. Your bedroom should be your sanctuary, a place where you can move peacefully, rest deeply, and wake refreshed. Furniture that seemed stylish when you were younger might now create obstacles to the peaceful rest you deserve. That bench at the foot of your bed is a perfect example. In magazines, it looks elegant and purposeful. In real life, especially as we age, it can make simple tasks more complicated. Changing sheets becomes awkward when you can't access the bed from all sides. The bench becomes a collection point for tomorrow's clothes or extra blankets, adding visual clutter to your rest space. Virginia kept her bedroom bench for years, telling herself she'd sit there to put on shoes. But the reality was different. I never sat on it, she realized, and I constantly bumped into it when I was making the bed. Every night I'd see clothes piled on it and feel like my bedroom looked messy even when everything else was tidy. After removing the bench, Virginia's bedroom felt more spacious and serene. Making the bed became simple again, and the clear sight lines made the room feel larger and more peaceful. Your bedroom furniture should support rest and ease, not create obstacles or stress. If something in your bedroom makes daily tasks more difficult or interferes with your sense of calm, it might be time to consider whether it's earning its place in your most personal space. Number 11. Bathroom seating that creates more problems than it solves. Small chairs in bathrooms often start with good intentions. A place to sit while doing hair or makeup, somewhere to set towels, a perch for putting on shoes. But bathrooms present unique challenges for furniture that aren't immediately obvious. Humidity can cause wood to warp, metal to rust, and fabric to develop mold or mildew. Chair legs can become slippery on wet floors, creating safety hazards. In small bathrooms, extra furniture can make the space feel cramped and difficult to clean thoroughly. Edward placed a small stool in his bathroom, thinking it would be helpful for reaching high shelves. But the stool rarely served that purpose. Instead, it became a landing spot for dirty laundry, and the constant moisture caused it to develop an unpleasant odor that regular cleaning couldn't eliminate. When Edward removed the stool and installed a grab bar instead, his bathroom became safer, cleaner, and easier to maintain. He could reach what he needed using a small step stool that he stored in the hallway closet and brought in only when necessary. Bathrooms function best when they're designed for easy cleaning and safety. If you have seating in your bathroom that you rarely use or that creates maintenance challenges, consider whether its space could be better used for safety features or simply left clear for easier movement. Number 12. Audio equipment from another era. Many of us have wonderful memories associated with our music systems. The pride of a new stereo, the joy of perfect sound filling our homes, the ritual of selecting albums and adjusting settings for the best listening experience. But audio technology has transformed dramatically. The massive speakers, multiple components, and complex wiring that once represented the pinnacle of home audio can now be replaced by small wireless devices that deliver excellent sound quality without dominating your living space. Large audio equipment presents several challenges. It's heavy and difficult to move for cleaning, it collects dust in hard-to-reach places, and it can be unstable if you have pets or grandchildren visiting. Catherine held on to her husband's elaborate stereo system for years after he passed away, partly for the memories and partly because the sound quality was genuinely excellent. But the system took up an entire wall in her living room, and she rarely used it because operating it had become too complicated. When Catherine finally made the change to a simple wireless speaker system, she was amazed by both the sound quality and the transformation of her space. She could still enjoy her favorite music. In fact, she found herself listening more often because it was so easy to use. The living room felt bigger and brighter, and cleaning became much simpler. Your relationship with music doesn't have to be diminished by simplifying your equipment. Sometimes making music more accessible leads to more joy, not less. Number 13. Display cabinets that hold only dust and obligation. Display cabinets often represent some of the most emotionally challenging items to reconsider. They hold memories, wedding china, travel souvenirs, family heirlooms, collections built over decades. Each item once meant something, and together they tell the story of your life. But here's what many people discover. Having these items behind glass, untouched and gathering dust, doesn't honor their significance as much as we think it does. When beautiful things become burdens, requiring elaborate cleaning rituals but never being enjoyed, they've transformed from treasures into obligations. Rose kept her china cabinet for 30 years, filled with dishes she received as wedding gifts and pieces collected during travels with her husband. But she couldn't remember the last time she'd opened those glass doors or used any of the items inside. Cleaning that cabinet was a day-long project, Rose remembered. I'd have to take everything out piece by piece, clean each item, clean the shelves, and put it all back exactly the same way. But nobody ever looked at those things, including me. When Rose finally emptied the cabinet, she made a beautiful discovery. She chose 3 pieces that brought her the most joy: a small vase from her honeymoon, her grandmother's teacup, and a serving bowl she remembered using for special occasions, and displayed them where she could see them daily. The rest found new homes with family members who would actually use and enjoy them. Rose's dining room felt lighter, her cleaning routine became simpler, and the 3 special pieces she kept felt more meaningful because she chose them intentionally. Number 14. Seasonal decorations that season after season go unused. Holiday decorations hold special magic when they're fresh, meaningful, and actually used. They help mark the passage of time and create festive atmospheres that bring joy to special occasions. But decoration collections have a way of growing over the years. We buy new items each season, receive gifts, and save decorations from memorable celebrations. Before we know it, we have boxes and boxes of seasonal items, most of which never make it out of storage. Linda accumulated 4 large boxes of Christmas decorations over 20 years of marriage and child-rearing. When she moved to a smaller home, she dreaded dealing with all those containers. I couldn't even remember what was in most of those boxes, she admitted. When Linda finally sorted through everything, she made some surprising discoveries. Many items were broken, faded, or no longer suited her taste. Some held no particular memories or meaning. Others were duplicates of items she liked better. Linda reduced her Christmas decorations to one small container holding her most meaningful pieces: ornaments with family photos, her grandmother's angel, and lights for a small tree. Her holiday decorating became a joy instead of a chore, and she had more time to actually enjoy the season instead of managing elaborate displays. Your seasonal decorations should enhance your celebration of special times, not create stress or consume excessive storage space. Keep what brings you genuine joy and let go of what feels obligatory. Number 15. Formal rooms that formally go unused. Perhaps the most significant change many seniors make is reconsidering rooms that are kept for special occasions that rarely come. The formal living room with covered furniture, waiting for guests who visit infrequently. The dining room, reserved for holidays, closed off from daily life. These formal spaces often represent significant square footage in your home that could be serving your daily comfort and joy instead of sitting empty, gathering dust, and requiring maintenance without providing benefit. Margaret maintained a formal living room for 20 years, opening it only for special occasions that occurred perhaps 3 or 4 times per year. The rest of the time, she lived in her smaller family room, keeping the beautiful, comfortable formal furniture covered and unused. One day, I realized I was keeping my nicest, most comfortable furniture away from myself, Margaret reflected. I was saving the best room in my house for other people who rarely came, while I squeezed into a smaller space every day. When Margaret decided to claim her formal living room for daily use, she transformed it into a peaceful retreat with good lighting for reading, a comfortable chair for morning coffee, and space for the hobby she enjoyed. She could still welcome guests anywhere in her home, but now she was welcoming herself into the most beautiful space every single day. The most honored guest in your home should be you. Your most comfortable, beautiful spaces should serve your daily life, not wait for occasions that may never come. Conclusion. As we come to the end of our journey through these 15 thoughtful changes, I want you to know that every suggestion we've discussed comes from a place of deep respect for the life you've built and the home you've created. None of these items were mistakes when you brought them into your home. Each served a purpose, fulfilled a need, or brought joy at the time. But life is beautifully dynamic, and what serves us in one season may not serve us in another. Recognizing this isn't failure, it's wisdom. The goal of creating more space in your home isn't about having less, it's about having what matters most. It's about moving through your days with greater ease, breathing more deeply in your own space, and feeling truly at home in the place where you spend most of your time. Small changes can create profound differences in daily comfort. Removing one piece of furniture that you navigate around multiple times a day can make every day feel a little easier. Clearing one surface that constantly collects clutter can make your entire room feel more peaceful. Remember, you don't have to tackle everything at once. Choose one area that calls to you, perhaps something that causes daily frustration or makes you feel tired just looking at it. Make that one gentle change and live with it for a while. Notice how it feels to move more freely, clean more easily, or simply have more visual calm in that space. Your home should support the person you are today, in this season of your life. It should accommodate your energy levels, your physical abilities, your current interests, and your actual daily routines. Most importantly, it should be a place where you feel completely comfortable being yourself. If this video has given you some gentle ideas for creating more peace and space in your home, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Share one small change you're considering, or tell us about a time when simplifying something in your home made a bigger difference than you expected. And if you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that honors this beautiful stage of life and supports you in living it fully and comfortably. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Here's to homes that welcome us, support us, and help us live with greater ease and joy every single day.